it on the deep web?
I'm going to post it on the web. So equivalent inequalities are inequalities that have the same solutions. So inequalities that have the same solutions. Yeah?
Do you know anybody with the last name Jass? No.
Okay. The addition subtraction property of inequality, all that says is whatever you do to one side, whatever you add or subtract to one side of the inequality, you have to add or subtract to the other. It's the same. It's the same thing that we did with equations. Okay. So, do you guys remember? Did you solve inequalities last year where you had to flip the inequality, the direction of it? Do you remember when you needed to do that? You remember when? It's when you divided or multiplied by what kind of number? Actually, that's a good guess. It wasn't a fraction. Not a decimal. It's when you divided or multiplied by a
reciprocal.
No, by a negative number. You have to flip it around. So we don't need to worry about that here. Okay, well, you should take this with you. So here's what we're saying on this. If I'm going to solve this inequality, I'm going to do it the same way I did an equation. What would I do to each side of this inequality, guys, here to get x by itself?
Subtract 4.
Yeah, subtract 4 from each side. So I subtract 4. So I end up with, what happens to the 4s on the left side here? Cancels. So it's x is less than 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. And then I'm going to ask you to graph these. That's it. So these are one-steppers. You don't have to worry about flipping an inequality yet. That's coming next lesson when we multiply or divide by negative. Flipping, yes. You guys are good at flipping. Yeah. I knew you were going to do that. So problem 1, what do I have to do to each side of the inequality to solve it? I don't have it.
So what do you have? 17 and then x.
You're leaving it 3, right?
Yeah, but I need it to be.
I don't have it. Yes. Yes. What do we do to each side here, guys? Add 15.
So it's not.
So it's x is greater than negative 12 plus 15 gives me 3. So add 15 each side. Now, Branson, what do I have it open or closed circle on this one? Remember? Open. And which way does this tell me to shade on the number line? You know? Yes, here's our point. This way. How do you know? The arrow's pointing that way. It says x is greater than 3. So, what's one number that would work as a solution to this inequality or this problem that I have right here? What's one number that would work here, according to my picture? 2 wouldn't quite work because it's not in the shaded part. 4 would work. 5 would work. You got it. Any questions on that? Pretty easy? Can I go to the next page? Yes. Let's wait. I'm almost done. And go. All right. What did we suggest the other day when the x is on the right here? What did we suggest? Flip it around. So move the x minus 3 over here. Make sure the inequality is still pointing, let's see here, towards the x minus 3. And then put the 10 on the right. So what I did is I moved this over to the left, that over to the right. Make sure this is still pointing less than or equal to the x minus 3. Now, what do I do to each side here, guys? Yeah, Braden. Add 3. So x is less than or equal to 13.
Yes. Okay, but where's 13?
That's a good question. I purposely didn't put any numbers on here. Here's the lazy man's way to do this. You pick where you want to put 13. Let's put it just right in the middle. How about that? That's what I would probably do. Then you're not starting from 0 and making marks all the way up to 13. That's goofy.
Yeah.
So put 13 somewhere right in the middle of the number line that you have on your worksheet. It'll be the same thing on your worksheet. Closed or open circle?
Close.
Closed. Which way do I need to shade according to the inequality? Yeah. It's like you guys are on aircraft carriers over here. Yes.
What if you just switch to x and 13?
You can't do that because the x minus 3 comes as a package deal. It's called a binomial. So you can't just switch those. You got to switch that whole piece here. That's a good question. Do you guys catch that? How come I didn't just switch the x and the 10 or the x? I have to take the whole thing and move it over there. All right. Another question over here? Okay, problem 3. Okay, this is using the subtraction property. What do I have to do to each side here to get x by itself? So we've got x is greater than... You can't resist. Negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. Open or closed circle at negative 10? Open. Where should I put negative 10? Anywhere. So open circle at negative 10. Which way do I shade? Why? What's this say in words? X is greater than negative 10. What's one number bigger than negative 10? Yes, negative 9. That's right. So if I were to fill this in, this would be negative 9. Okay, and this is negative 11 over here. Right? Sometimes it's confusing on the negative side of the number line. Any questions so far? Pretty easy to solve. The big thing is just graphing it correctly. Okay, problem 4. It says the hard drive on your computer has a capacity of 120 gigabytes. Capacity means what? Maximum. Could it be 120?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be less than or equal to 120. Write that down. You have used 85. You want to save some videos on your hard drive. What are the possible sizes of the video collection you can save? So if we let x equal gigabytes, then I've got x plus 85 has to stay less than or equal to 120. So how do I solve that to figure out the amount of space left?
Subtract 85.
Subtract 85. Most of you probably already did that in your head. You don't have to write an algebraic inequality to do that, right? This is another example of we do algebra even when we don't know we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
So x is less than or equal to 120 minus 85. 35, right? So what would that mean in words? What are the possible sizes of the video collection? Any video collection 35 gigabytes or less will fit. Okay, that's it. So my thought was it'll probably take you, you're going to do the odds on the classwork. We're going to check for correctness. So some of you may, Jose, please, the rest on the bottle flipping for me. You're making me nervous when you guys are bottle flipping flavored drinks like that because you ended up on my floor. So I think this will take about 20 minutes. About 20 minutes, and then we'll start stamping. So at about 3:10 or 3:15, we'll start stamping, and we're going to be checking it that you're doing it correctly. I don't think this will be a problem. Pretty easy, huh? That's good. Any questions at all?